Hi everybody, and this is a video that I've been long awaiting to make. It's not, not a video. I shouldn't say a video, but like more so, the first of many videos that I'm gonna make talking about my since it's been on my mind like both for since like I wanted to talk about this to like feel not only get out all my faults but also compensate so I'm not hiding the kind of person I used to be or the kind of person I've was before that like made several mistakes with. These aren't the mistakes I made against myself. I mean, the only mistakes um against myself, in any regard to myself, they were in how I made myself look bad. Like in many ways I put myself in a really negative light, and I shouldn't have, because like even though I have lots of people who still appreciate me and still care about me, I still feel like I significantly tainted my image in how I've treated people in the past, like with the things, not just how I treated people, but also the things how I acted in general, like how edgy I was, or the things I said or talked about or did or at least talked about doing, like those things that were like so or just my overall negative behavior, or some of the people I mistreated were even my own friends or acquaintances who like did their best to like offer me support, and in repayment I just went and like had to go and treat them and repay them in the worst way possible. And so here's my video, and like there's no excuse or justification for any of, like, even though for some of these people I made amends with them, I long made amends with them. For others, I permanently ruined my dynamic with them, or at least tainted it. And I just like and this is and I wanted to make this video addressing all of not, or maybe not all of it, but as much as I can, because even though a lot of this stuff happened long ago, it still makes me feel guilty, because even though I can't remember it because of how long ago it happened, I still have guilt over it, because I know that there's several instances where I've said the wrong thing, where I did the wrong thing, where I said and did the wrong thing to a person, and like I hurt several people, and I've hurt several people like in some way. Not like, it's not as bad. The things I said and did aren't like awful, like not rape, not killing, not, or at least not attempted killing, not um at least not like any of those things, and like at least none of those things like as hard as that. Nothing really bad, but still I was a horrible friend, a horrible role model, a horrible, just not a good person in the past. Even though there were lots of times when I was nice, when I would be a nice person, I feel like more often than not I just made myself out to be either a jackass, a bad role model, or just like a person of many mistakes that like just and I want to get out as many as what I can recall of the mistakes as possible. So like I guess like the first like the first one I want to talk about would be the first significant, I mean the first significant this is bef- I mean I guess the first significant one I can recall of me being not a good person was like it started in elementary school in fifth and sixth grade when there's this one there's just one dude in my grade who I am still friends with, but like he um there was a time when we like this was before I met my other best friend who in seventh grade, like way like not way before that, but like in between fifth and sixth grade, he would we would like drift apart from each other, and I like accused him of like he would start hanging out more with this one this one kid in our grade who was like a huge troublemaker who was known for being one of those huge troublemakers, and he would like bully me and tease me a lot, and like um and I I would like accuse him of like choosing that kid over me when he wasn't doing that. He was just torn between us, and um he when he wasn't doing anything wrong, I had to go and make a big stink about that. And like because I started getting a because this is when my young mind started getting addicted to drama and all that. And so like I felt and so like yeah, like we started distancing ourselves from each other, and I was like, how dare he stops talking to me? What's going on? Like why is he doing that? Like why won't he talk to me? Like and even more so because like I mentioned, that one kid was like known for being a troublemaker, a huge troublemaker at the time, not to gossip or anything, but like not to like gossip or anything about that, but like at the time he was like driving a wedge between us, and like that one kid like teased me sometimes. And so and so and so like I accused him of doing that, and he's actually a really nice person. Like he's one of the nicest people ever, like ever, like in the history of ever. He's one of the not in the I mean not in the total history. No, I'm exaggerating, but like he's seriously a really chill and nice person. And so he took it in stride. Actually, he took it in he was like really humble about it still. Like even that in that moment, I since made amends with him. I made amends with him like long years ago. Like that resolved itself faster than you think. And so now so that was like but still that was like an instance of me like being just over dramatic about things. Something my sister used to say to make fun of me was like that I have a habit of being overly dramatic and calling me Mr. Woe's me. Like, yeah, that's an insult, but at the same time, she's right. Like she's right. I can be overly dramatic about several things. And so this was just that was just that was just one example. We're just getting started. Like that was me. That was like just one example. So moving up to so going up to middle school years, this was when I myself this and getting back to and speaking of and get regarding me being bullied, I myself was not only was I a bully, I was a bully as a kid. I myself was. That's not an excuse, but like this is an excuse. I just wanted to bring this up. And if your case you're wondering, yes, I myself was bullied a couple times as a kid, both by students and teachers. Like serious, and it took a huge. I guess you can, and like as you can imagine, that was like, yeah. And so going going into middle school, this was like when things really started to like when my behavior really started to like take a hit, a turn, at least in regards to other people. This was like in middle school. There was there was this one girl. There's just one girl I met in middle school, in summer school, in well, seventh grade. She was like a year. She's like a year older than me, and and she suffered, and she's a really shy person, but like she she has lots of friends, and she loves music, and um she's one of those people. She's one of the people who I've long since made amends with, but like at the time it was like my the way I treated her was like really I treated her really poorly in the past. And so like in middle school there was this really we would and my I was in a special and then like a special ed type of class, and so like we were both in a special ed type of class, so like I I and the teacher and occasionally the teacher would let us put on videos for fun, choose videos from YouTube to watch for fun, like either like before holidays or before breaks, and um and the videos she would like put on were one of those try not to laugh America's funniest home videos ones. And at the time, because I was like really uptight, I was really uptight back then, and seeing people falling down and all that made me cringe a lot. And um sorry, just kidding. It made me cringe a lot, and I back then I was a really uptight person, and so like seeing people fall and hurt themselves, like some hurt themselves and all that was just it pained me to see like everybody liked it. All the other kids in my class liked it, but I like didn't like it because like I said I was really I was back then I was really squeamish at it, and like and and then after that she like the girl for fun she would like dab at me, because back then dabbing was like still popular and all that. And and um and she would talk about her favorite band at the time, Green Day. I This was before, and even though I'm a huge pop punk person today. Like back then in middle school, I disliked Green Day. And I mean, in middle school and early high school, I disliked Green Day because she used to like just playfully tease me about liking Green Day, and it was just harm and it was just and in her defense, it was just harmless teasing. It wasn't anything bad. She was just doing it. She was just dabbing and talking about Green Day for fun because she liked music and meme culture. She's a really nice girl. And so like I thought, and I took it so personally when all things considered, I like took it super personally for some reason. Actually, I think it was like there's this one other boy who is like a year old in the same grade as this girl, and he would like treat it as he would like he and he was like he used to bully me, but I mean we both became friends by the time he graduated, but like at the time we both did had a thing against each other. We were both rivals. Yeah, like so yeah, I'm sorry, it's getting hot. So yeah, and so like I was and so after this so like yeah, because this girl would like because I was like getting annoyed with this girl, I would like I started I started purposely saying the name of Green Day wrong as Blue Day. Purposely I purposely just to annoy her, and dab at her. I would dab at her. I would say the name of Green Day wrong, and 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 she you and there's this one time when I did it until she left the room in tears. I remember there was this one time when she was literally crying for something about something, and I still made fun of her by doing dabbing like that. I was really that horrible. And I did like apologize to her, but like it would be I would do it again. I would like dab and miss and talk about Green Day to her over and over again, and just to like just to like annoy her, and like I would apologize and it would go on and on like that. And yeah, that's how yeah, like I would just act like a jerk. And so like and so and so like the embarrassing part is like from on my end, like I would like I said I would have like when she moved up, like when we both got to high school, I would like in my when I was a freshman, she was a sophomore. I would like still do that. I would like still do that even after years beforehand, even after like I apologized to her back in middle school and thing like I could have just ended it there in middle school, but I still did it or in early high school. And so and so and so I was not a good person in that regard. But I kept making fun of her in early high school when I was a freshman, she was a sophomore, and I kept on doing that. And so this is like and so now fast forward to January of 2020 um where um this is when I this is when something happened that changed everything. In 2020, in early 2020, this girl, her dad passed away. It's not my place to say how, but when everybody was told to make cards for this girl after her dad died, I was like, that really hit me because I felt the guilt ate my ass up. Like, how could I be so horrible to this person, not knowing that like I said, it's not my place to say how her dad died, but I felt super guilty for how I treated her, like not knowing what if her dad had an illness that I wasn't aware of, and that I had to go and make things even worse for this girl by going and teasing her like that when she was just playing with me. How could I be so mean like that? And so I made so we were all told to make cards for this girl, and I made a card saying with some of her favorite bands bands and quotes from her favorite bands. And so 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 I so I so I gave it I gave it to her, and I was like I was like praised by this one boy in my grade. I mean, not in my grade, but in her grade, and this one in my math teacher. It was in math class. It was in my freshman math class when this happened, and which was also in a way a special ed class. Being autistic, I was in a lot of special ed classes, but yeah. And so yeah, I could tell and as you could tell, this affected not only the girl herself, but also me, because I realized that I made me open up my eyes and realize just how horrible of a person I really was. Like, and so I decided, you know what, maybe I should. And so 2 years later, in early 2022, I decided to permanently end the banter between us. So on near around Valentine's Day, I wrote I wrote several letters for several people on Valentine's Day. So to her, I wrote this one letter calling her smart and calling her a good person and all, and a bunch of and a couple other compliments, and she seemed to like it and appreciate it. And so, yeah. So like, so yeah, that like, and so like in our senior, I mean, I think she was like I don't know. I think she got held back or something. Not to like gossip or anything, but like she was like in my grade for her senior year and my senior year, and so like and so we were in the same English class in senior year, so I so we had a couple nice conversations. So I guess that small beef that I started between us, I guess it was over. And in that same class when I told my friends in that class that I hoped I'd find another girlfriend after I got dumped by my previous girlfriend, she said, "You will." And I was like, "Thank you." So yeah, like that so that like so that like it got so I guess that thing that we had between each other, I fixed it. I mean, I don't know for sure what else the future holds, but like, yeah, like I was a trash person in the past to this girl, but like I went on, but as time went on, I I gradually, but it was a tragic event that made me real it took a tragedy to make me realize that I had to work on myself, that I should treat people better, and and things and the fact that there were several other people that I treated badly after this, it's just like it's just a shame, like really. So now to the next friend that I have. I'm trying to think from the top of my head. So like there's this one girl who's my age in my grade. Um Actually two, actually. There are these two girls in my grade who like knew each other for so long. They both have cats. They both love drawing and like cartoons. They both they're all three of us are have disabilities, and we're in the same special ed classes. And so I met them both in 7th grade. And like so for how this one started, it was like um we um we were in this we were in the same we were in the same um in the same math class for or English class for 8th grade. We were in the same 8th grade English class, and I and she had and this girl and one of these two girls, she has really bad anxiety, and so she would get her. Except at the time, her anxiety was a lot. I have anxiety too, but at the same time, her anxiety was a little bit more severe than mine, and so and not only that, but this one video game boy who like we were both friends with, he like started treating her with more respect than me. he would like treat her better than me, like because we had a fallout with each other, and and like I was jealous of like the extra attention she was getting from aides and counselors, and like there's this one time there's this one time where this one helper teacher that we both had, where she was crying in class for some reason, and like the teacher took her out and she wasn't in school for the rest of the day or the day later. And when I was crying, I'm sorry, this is just a painful memory I'm having. Yeah. But um like we had a fall I had a really big falling out between both these girls, and like it got resolved, but like the first girl I mentioned, it got resolved, but like at the same time it was like really it was like really effective for me. I mean, I really said and did wrong to them, like to this one girl I was jealous of her, and like I would get on her case about why she was skipping classes, and like why she was um and all that, and and sometime and like I would also do it to irritate to be irritating. Like I would purposely do it to be irritating and all that, and like just to be a general ass muncher. And it wasn't until and then when I became a freshman, and then when we both reached our freshman year, we this was when my behavior really started to get out of control. Um, I would I would sometimes touch her, like not not inappropriately, but like I would just I would harass her, like she wasn't I mean she's a nice person. They're both really she and the other girl and her and our friend and we're a trio. They're both really nice people, really kind and nice, and and like I would I would harass her. I would take some of her belongings. Like I tried to take her pen. I took her pen one time, but I was told by my counselor to give it back. I was politely told by my counselor to give it back, and I did, and I apologized to her. And then I kept on trying to take her things, and I kept touching her, and and I was warned about that, and I was warned by that about that by two counselors, and things got like super out of control. Like things got like super out of control between us that my at the time counselor like had to phone my parents and tell them who I disliked at the who I deeply disliked my counselor at the time because she was really strict, and she phoned my parents told who told my parents who and when I got home from school that day, they took away my phone for a week, and I was like really and at the time I thought it was unfair without like seeing why they did do that. And at the time because at the like like um I I didn't, and I thought it was unfair. I thought it was barbaric that they were doing that. But like I didn't see why they were but I failed to see. I actually had the nerve to fail to see why they were doing that because it was because I was being a horrible friend to this friend, and like I was told and I was like told leave her alone, repeatedly told to leave her alone. Like first the counselors tried to tell me to politely leave her alone, but I didn't do that. I kept on irritating her and her friend, and like things got messy. So and so so like I uh it's a lot to remember. And by the end of our freshman year, this was like months before the pandemic hit, and this is like months before the pandemic hit, and um sorry, this was like months before the pandemic hit, and and by the end of our and like this is what like and before I was planning on switching schools like because of like how bad my freshman year was, or more accurately how badly I was making it. And so like when and so like I almost switched schools because of like how much trouble I was making for both for other people and for myself, how badly I was getting along with certain counselors. Yeah. So anyway, like, yeah, I've since made amends with both of them, and like I still talk to one of them. I mean, I'm still friends with both of them, but only one I have their contact on my phone, on this new phone that I have. And so like things are good between me and them, and so yeah, things are still ill good, and things are good between them, but like at the time my but like because of like but like our but like my dynamic between both of them was like deeply strained for a while because of how I acted, because of like the thing because of like me being jealous of a person, being jealous of the extra care that a person was getting both from a friend and from counselors, and like I stupidly took my jealousy and insecurities out on several people, and made them feel bad. Some I literally made cry. And I was actually and sometimes during these times I was actually happy that I did that. Like I was that big of a douchebag. So next there was this so the next person so yeah, I made amends with those two girls. So the next person I want to talk about is like this one girl in my grade. She was like new to the district, and um I met her in gym class, and we uh I was like the first person in our gym class to make friends with her. And so I'm sorry, I need a break to like try and remember like what went down between us. Okay, in this instance, this was an instance of me being an attention seeking douchebag. Like I got carried away with how um with how I with how I would come on and make myself as like I was even though I was the first person to make friends with her in this was in freshman year, even though I was the first person to make friends with her, I was a horrible friend. Like I yet it I didn't see that until I was a junior. I didn't see that my life wasn't bad, but I was making it bad in several ways by being a horrible friend was one of those ways I was bad. I was making it bad. So I would and then first it was first it was that I got carried away and like I would unintentionally annoy her when we were during conversations I would unintentionally annoy her, and I would annoy her, and like at first I legit didn't see why she was avoiding me, and I thought it was like and I thought like and I thought it was ridiculous that she was annoying me at first. at first, like literally at first, but like then after much begging and after much saying I'm look, hey, I'm sorry I did this. I'm really sorry that I acted this way to you. And she forgave, and for the first time she for and I mean and the first time and for the first time when I did this, she forgave me. But then I blew that. I blew it literally by there's this thing we did where we like to play fight with each other. Like you know how some people in school, like, not real fighting. I mean, real fighting does go on a lot in schools, but we like to like play fight, like um spar like that. And I like that. I like doing that for the attention that it brought on back then. And I like doing it for the attention. And like and like yeah. So I would, and like the first time I would like annoy her with what I was doing. And so I would, yeah, I would annoy her and all that. I annoyed her because I liked it because I was an attention seeking douchebag. And so like yeah, that like and for the second time we had another fallout. And so we had to forcibly and when I tried to like and I actually had the nerve to wonder why she was avoiding me. It was because I made this mistake twice. She told me to stay away from her, and yet I still had the nerve to wonder why she was avoiding me after I literally annoyed her like that. I was an obnoxious dweeb. Sorry, I need to take a break to like really, really reflect. And so like at the beginning of my senior year, um 3 years later, at the beginning of my senior year, before things really my senior year became bad in like how I talked about in my previous video. Ow. Like um I I was partner I we partnered up and during for this thing in gym class, and we made amends with each other, or more so, I made amends. I I I told her, you want to be partners with me after the horrible person that I've been, and she was like, hey, we're seniors, like we can put the past behind us. Like she was so forgiving of it about it, even though I was a douchebag twice. Like I blew both my chances with her. I thought her, and so like things gradually got better between us. We were in two classes together, gym class and a computer class. So that was one instance where hungry, my attention hungry and my attention hungry and like unaware self and my socially unaware self like got messed up a potentially good friendship by being an overall obnoxious idiotic jerk. And like with the previous girl I mentioned, it wasn't just me like it wasn't just me like me like being annoying to this girl, and then like being oblivious to it. There's also this one time when I also like physically harassed her, like this one previous time, and I had to be and she told I'm like not inappropriately, but I still like physically harassed her, like touched her arm like that when I tried to like when I was annoying her during these one times, and she was like hands off, and the guilt you can really see the guilt in me like when I'm recalling this, not just because of how like like and I had to be report and like I had to be and she like and it got so bad to the point where she reported me to like our gym teacher and to like our and to the principal of the school, or one of the principals. This one guy who everybody the one principal guy who everybody in the school hates, more like. So the next person I'm going to talk about is like this one other girl in my grade. She's like one of my best. She was one of my bestest. I mean, I lost contact with her recently, but like not not because nothing else bad happened between us, but like we just gradually slipped apart from each other. Um, like I was like I had this huge crush on this girl in middle school, starting in middle school. We didn't meet in middle school. We met in elementary school in like fifth or sixth grade, and it was in seventh grade where I officially, that age where people are starting to like get really into girls, and like this is when I really started to like. This is when I started to like her. I have a fascination with her, and I would I would like I would like write her love letters. We would hug. We would talk about how our day's going, and me. And she was, me. I was awkward. I was socially awkward. I was isolated. I wasn't like a lot of other people in middle school. I wasn't. athletic, I wasn't a thespian, I wasn't really invited to parties or anything. And so, and I wasn't interested in, at the time, I wasn't interested in social events. But like, um, I, but I had a huge crush on her, and, um, but like, and like, I had a huge crush on her, and like, at the time of, at the time of when we were transitioning from middle school to high school, this I thought I was going to go to a different school than the one I did go to because of how badly I was doing at that school, both academically and behavioral wise. And so so I thought I was going to go to a different school, but I didn't go to a different school. Um I entered So like we told each I told her we can she told me we can be friends in memory, and so I liked that idea, and so so yeah, that was like a whole lot. And when we reached our freshman year, I discovered that she was the only reason why I liked going to school in the first place. Like I loved her. I loved her back then before I just start went back to like liking her as a friend. And um and so and so I and then one day while we were like at while me and my while me and everybody all the other kids in school were at this pep rally, I discovered she had a boyfriend, and I was like shocked, and as you can imagine I was shocked, I was bitten all over, I was I was like torn to pieces on the inside, and a lot of my behavioral issues got worse. I already had behavioral issues, but like they really got worse after that. After I discovered this girl had a boyfriend, and I felt like there was no reason for me to go to school anymore since the one person who made me want to go to school like was in love with somebody else. And so we and so like in response to that, I would when her and I was like really jealous of both of them. Even though I mean they both broke have long since broken up, but at the time when they were together, I was like and I was like I just like I was just like really really just devastated. And so like to quell the rage that I had about that and like and he and the boy she was with at the time was a really nice guy, like really like a really nice guy. I mean that. We're still friends to this day. But and like sorry for the smile, just had another thought. Like I would like take their I would like when they were walking by holding hands, I felt really insanely jealous. And when they would walk and so like in response to that that when they would walk by holding hands sometimes, I would take their picture without asking several times until and I wasn't stealthy about it either. I would just do it like out in the open where several people saw. And several people took notice of it too and like, Roy, whoa, Roy, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And some teachers noticed it too and like, Roy, that's not a good thing. You can't do that. Until till finally one day this one teacher who like bullied me and a couple of other boys. I'm not trying to make this about myself. I'm just pointing this out as a character thing for this lady. She like caught me one day when I snapped a pic of both of them and like sent me to my counseling office, and I was like crying. But luckily she was like really understanding about why I did it and was like and was like and gave me a tissue and like tried to calm me down like that. So and then I was like told and then like I was told by this one and then I was like told by this one boy and then I was told by this one boy who is also friends with this one who I still talk to this day by this the talk to tell this to apologize to that to her and her boyfriend to the girl and her boyfriend and which I did and I became friends with this girl again in the process and I made friends with her then boyfriend and like things were good between and things got well. I accepted that they were that at the time they were a couple. They're not a couple anymore, but like I accepted that. This was like still a really serious thing. Like thing that I like did. Like me, that was like serious thing that I did wrong, like on my part. Me taking pics of somebody without their consent was just like that's creep factor, like on so many levels, like and like it's just wrong. Like it's I know it's I'm saying it's wrong is just putting it like is just an understatement of the day of the century. Like some of the people like this would be a thing me be doing things wrong to people impulsively because of the compulsions I have and because of the compulsions and like not being able to control my compulsions at least by myself or at least without the guidance of other people and then doing things wrong to others and then like and not noticing they're wrong until after I do them, saying and doing wrong things and not knowing they're wrong until after I do them. Like that's how it goes. And that's how like I try to like and that's how like I try to like I'm still there's a lot more I want to I want to talk about, but I'll have to be later. I'll be back with part 2 in just a moment.